¿Qué tal? Vamos a ello. Let's go. Topic 4.4, excretory system. I'm going to. This is a really good song. Vampire Weekend. Okay. Good. Let's go. Topic 4, excretory system. I will do it really fast. We have 9 pages of PDF. I'm going to show you the basics and the basic elements and the more important concepts you're going to learn. Okay, let's go. The excretory system is a group of organs that facilitate the elimination of waste products produced by cells after the cell metabolism. Okay, during this metabolism, this functionality of the cells, they um, um, excrete these elements that are toxic. Okay, and we need to get rid of them. Carbon dioxide, where it is formed, is of course formed in the respiration, cell respiration, and then the CO2 is produced and going all around the body until it reach the lungs, and the lungs here they play a specific role of excretion. Okay, excretion of CO2. Yes, so the lungs not only get the oxygen, they get rid of the CO2, which is excretory function. Urea and uric acid are formed to break down proteins. Okay, all these people that build muscle and they're constantly consuming proteins, they are putting at risk their kidneys. They are generating a lot of urea and uric acid. Okay, toxic substances like we can ingest or drink, like alcohol, drugs, and medicines. Good. In addition, the excretory system contributes to adequate functionality of the body, vital signs by regulating quantity of water, concentration of minerals, pH levels, and so what is called homeostasis. Okay, so we need to have the same pH, the same water balance, salts and mineral salts. So we have here liver. I'm going to underline liver, respiratory system, sweat glands, and urinary system. These 4 are the ones to excrete toxins. In some extreme, well, I'm going to read this before the exercise. Liver, it eliminates products resulting from the extraction of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein with iron inside of the red blood cell. Okay, and these red blood cells have to be recycled, and they are going to be destroyed, and we're going to recycle the iron to form new red blood cells. Okay, and the liver is playing a big role in this functionality. These products make a part of the bile, so we're going to put this into the digestive system and release into the intestine, yes, and form there to the exterior, and from there to the exterior, yes. The liver also eliminates a small quantity of cholesterol and certain toxic substances that can affect the body. Yes, drugs affects this kind of this marvelous organ, which is the liver, and what is called transaminases and transaminasas. So these transaminasas are when you extract blood to analyze and see if everything is in order. We're checking transaminases to check if the liver is properly working. If we are exposed to some kind of toxin constantly, there is going to be stored in the liver, okay? And for example, heavy metals, yes, like um, mercury that can be in the fish, in some kind of fish, especially the big fish, el pez espada, por ejemplo, has a lot of mercury, and tuna, yes. So we need to limit this kind of fish because it contains a lot of heavy metals that we human beings have put in the environment, specifically in the sea, without any treatment, proper treatment. We have respiratory system, as we said, sweat glands, specifically in some parts in the armpit, where we put the deodorant, and we need to stop using aluminum chloride to make sure that the excretory functionality of the sweat glands are working properly. We need to get rid of the toxins, otherwise they are going to be stored here, and then what can cause? Yes, cancer. Right. That's great. Question. It also helps to regulate temperature. Yes. We have the pores, and here we have the capillaries. Yes, that are in contact with the excretory. With the glomerulus that is close to the capillary where the hair is, and it works as a filtration system to extract the water with mineral salts and urea and other toxins. Yes. In some extreme cases during marathons, athletes have died because they drank too much water during the race. If they didn't urinate during the race, what do they think happened and why? Okay, I've found here this information, Science News. It says many runners know it's important to drink plenty of water during the marathon to keep their bodies hydrated. However, drinking too much water during the course of the 26-mile race, about 42 kilometers or something like that, race can actually kill them. Yes. So the symptoms are vomiting, loss of appetite, headache, fatigue, abnormal mental status, muscle weakness, convulsions. Yes. And here is a very important thing. Oh, it says 13% of the people analyzed during this marathon in Boston were overhydrated. Yes. And this is kind of dangerous. Yes. Well, kind of is dangerous. So, how is called hypothermia? Yes, hypothermia. Is causing hypothermia. This is not working properly. The majority of these runners reported feeling fine after the race. However, if someone who feels fine continues drinking water because of they believe the nausea and the weakness they are feeling is due to dehydration, they could easily end up having seizure of or falling into a coma. Yes, they faint. No? Desmaya. You don't want to drink too much water during the race, but if you do, sports drinks like Gatorade that contain salt will be better than a lot of water. Yes, good advertisement for this kind of drinks. So they say that you have to drink a cup of water, just a couple of shots, if you meant, but every 20 minutes. Yes, it is said here during the marathon Good rule of thumb: drink about 1 cup of fluid every 20 minutes. And drinking any more than that over the course of the race can get you into trouble. Good. Continue with this. Alcoholics tend to suffer from liver disease. Why? Because constantly liver is trying to store all the alcohol that you cannot excrete from uh, uh, thanks to the kidneys, to the urinary system. So liver is a second useful organ to get rid of this alcohol. So what happened is that the liver is destroyed. Yeah. We're going to learn about urinary system in this point. Thank you for being there. Yeah. And we're going to see the nephrons. There are these structures, not very clear in this image, but is formed by this capsule, Bowman's capsule, the convoluted tubule, and the loop handle. Yes. Yeah, and we're going to see the physiological functions. Okay, so this is important. The urinary system is formed by two organs, the kidneys, and two types of urinary tracts, the ureters and the urethra. Kidneys are two bean-shaped organs that are located behind the abdomen, one of each side of spine. Yes, a ambos lados de la espina dorsal, which each one of them has an external section, which is called renal cortex. This is the crust, renal cortex, and internal section known as renal medulla. This part over here, renal medulla. The one looks like some lines. That's renal medulla, and then we have renal pelvis. Yeah, which is all this part here that is mostly white. Yeah. So here we have this part, the glomerulus in the crust, and in the renal medulla we have the tubules. Yes. So this Bowman capsule, where is the Bowman capsule? In which part of the possible question will be of the exam would be, where is situated Bowman's capsule? Is in the crust. Where is situated the tubes? In the renal medulla. Where is located the urine? ¿Vale? La urea. In the renal pelvis. Yeah. Okay. So let's internal cavity. The renal pelvis collects the urine, a liquid form in the renal cortex and medulla that contains waste product. Yeah. So during all this is the arteriole. Yeah. And the arteriole is giving blood and is like sinuous, is going in and going out. And the Bowman's capsule is filtering this, is really close to this arteriole, and is filtering, is absorbing all the internal. Do you remember the internal liquid that surrounded the cells? Is absorbed also by this circulatory system, and the bowel is extracting the water and the minerals and the urine generated in the metabolism of the cells. Yeah, so we extract the Bowman's capsule. Well, we will continue with this process. Nephrons are the structural and functional units of kidneys. They are tubes with one closed end and are surrounded by blood capillaries, like these ones, blood capillaries. They are responsible for filtering blood and forming urine, as well as regulating water and mineral content into the blood. Each kidney is formed over 1,000,000 nephrons. Yeah, 1,000,000. So, okay, the nephrons, and well, we're going to read the structure. Is the initial zone spherical? Inside of is a capillary that folds into a ball called glomerulus of Malpighi. Okay, esto es un glomérulo de Malpighi. And do we need to remember this name? No, really. Okay, that's the function of the Bowman capsule, is to extract water and minerals and toxins and waste products from the blood. Yeah, that's the function. The convoluted tube, it's a long twisted tube that has two main parts, proximal and distal. Yes, so this is proximal, close proximal to al glomérulo, and this is distal. Yeah, distal. And then we have the, ahora lo veremos. So convoluted tube is proximal and distal. Yeah, and here ahora lo veremos. Loop of handle. This is the section located between the proximal convoluted tube and the distal. Yes, the loop handle. Loop handle here is in the bottom part of the convoluted tube. Yes, this part. Nephrons end in a collecting conducts that end in the renal pelvis. La renal. Está aquí. Good. Leading to the ureter. In addition, kidneys perform these physiological functions. They actively intervene in regulation of internal environment. They secrete substances that stimulate the production of red blood. Yes, red cells. Erythropoietina. Okay, this is a hormone that some cyclists inject to themselves to generate more red blood cells, and therefore they are more their capabilities, the physical capabilities are higher. They can cycle for longer and stronger. Yes, so they can inject erythropoietin, and also the other option is to go to the higher mountain for a long time, and as a result of this high altitude, the body generates more erythropoietin to generate more red blood cells. Okay, don't laugh about this name, erythropoietina. They secrete this substance, okay, erythropoietin. Look at the nephron structure and answer the following question. Why can constant high blood pressure maintained over a long period of time cause irreparable damage to the kidneys? Okay, good. What do you think? This is like if you want to filter, for example, any kind of liquid with sand and everything, what do you think? If you pressure a lot this filter trying to make the filter more water in a short time, what happens is that you can probably break the filter. Yes, that's an option. So that's the case. When your blood pressure is rising, what happens is that the blood is pumping too hard through the to the capsule, Bowman's capsule. Yes, and they can break this structure. Okay, so and the question is why the body is making the blood pressure rise. So the best possibility, the more likely possibility is that we are consuming toxins, alcohol, too much salt in our meals or food, on drugs, or consuming too much proteins. Yeah. So the body is saying, I need to get rid of this. I'm going to raise the pressure level. Yes. Uh, it's like a manguera. When you press the end of the manguera and the water is circulating in a high speed and high pressure. Yes. Good. Mm, this is the answer of the 24th question. So they can break the structure, especially the glomerulus. And why is the pressure of the blood increasing? Because the body needs to get rid of toxins. That's one of the possibilities. In your notebook, draw a simple diagram of a nephron and label circuit traveling by substance filtered from the glomerulus to the collecting columns. I think I was trying to find these kind of images. I'm listening a baby crying from my neighbors. Oh God, it's constant. They constantly yelling and screaming. Good. So this is very likely. I'm trying to find. Well, I'm going to show this, which is simpler. Yeah. So this is the glomerulus. Is in the corteza. Yes. And this is the medulla and the medulla profunda. This is all the medulla. Yeah. And this is a collector tube at the end of the nephron, and it's mainly has. Oh my God! I hope you're not hearing that. So this way, this structure has one meaning. They are going to extract water. Okay, so water is very precious. Okay, so we need to get rid of the toxins, but not the water. The water is really good. Water good, toxin not good. So during this process, we help. We are trying to get rid of this extract the water from the urine. Yeah, good. And salts too. Yeah, is here urea is traveling around these tubes, but at the end we are peeing urea, salt, and water. Not as much as here. Can you see it? We have double arrows of urea, double arrows of salt, and double arrows of water. Okay. Um, Sodium chloride is very precious too, and we need to extract also. We need to recycle. We don't want to lose um, that much salt. We have this structure here, maybe interesting too. This is the glomerulus, and this is the cortex. Okay, and the asa de Henley is in Spanish. here we have the loop of Hanley. Yes, it's very thin, not very thick, but very thin, very thin. And this is the collector tube, is shared by other nephrons. Yes, so at the end, all the urea is coming to the all the this part, the renal pelvis. Okay, and that's it. So good. Well done, boys and girls. We're going to describe the urinary tract now. Okay. Good. These are the exit channels of urine. They connect the kidneys with the exterior. They are the ureters and the urethra. Ureters and urethra. They are thin tubes approximately 28 centimeter long that start from each kidney. Yes, all this. Yeah, it's very thin. It's not very thick, very thin. Yeah, and we have a lot of salts coming all the way here. So imagine the situation that is blocked by a salt here in this part, or in this part, in this part. We can have a kidney failure because the urine cannot go out. So, and if they arrive to the bladder here, very good. The bladder is an elastic bag in which urine accumulates before being released to the exterior. It can store between 200 milliliters and 450 milliliters of urine. When the bladder contains a large quantity of urine, it produces a nervous relaxed micturition reflex. Okay, so we want to pee, basically. And accumulates before being released into the exterior. It can store between 200 milliliters to 4, que se me ha ido. That makes the bladder contract, and as a result, it releases of urine into the urethra. Urethra here, yeah, the last part of the urinary tract. A man's urethra is connected with a duct of reproductive system in addition to carrying urine. Yes, it has these two functions. It can also release semen. Women's urethras are independent from their reproductive system. Yes, so in the case of the man, is the same conduct for semen and urine, and woman is independent from the reproductive system. Yes, it is very, very important to be very hygienic, especially in the girls, because this urethra is very short. In the case of men, is long, and since it's longer in men, the bacteria for the bacteria it's very difficult to travel along urethra and reach the bladder. Yes, but in the case of women, this urethra is very short, so bacteria can get in really easily into the bladder. And if you have an infection here, good, antibiotics. But if the bacteria actually get along all the way to the kidneys, to have an infection in the kidneys is tough. It's very difficult. It's a problem. Yes? So since you have a sensation of like it burns when you pee, or it hurts, or you go peeing very often, yes, or the pee is not transparent, is very has an intense color, you need to go to the doctor, and he will probably prescribe antibiotics. Can you eat or consume or antibiotics? No, you need to have a prescription, a proper prescription. It's very easy. You just pee in a bottle, and they just check if in the pee we can find bacteria. Yes, and if you have bacteria, then you have to have a treatment of antibiotics. Explain the function of the blood vessel that enter in and exit into the kidneys. Of course, very easy to understand, and this is very important. Arterial and venal different. Arterias go in and venos go out. Yeah, very interesting. Arteries are going and venal go out. Yeah. And that's it. Arterioles and arteries and venos. Yeah. And the veins have a function, a specific function here to extract water too and salts. Okay, from this convoluted tube. And the loop of Hanel. The loop of Hanel is this. Yeah. Good. Well, espérate. Here. In the following statement is correct. The urethra is a conduct that only carries urine. Give a reason. For example, yes. Urethra in the case of women, yes. In the case of men, no. It also carries semen for reproductive means. Good. Urine function means is objetivo, ¿vale? Urine function. Very good. You're doing good. Okay. Thank you for being there. Don't forget. Okay, 28. Analyze. Investigate the cause of involuntary urine loss. What kind of precaution could you take in order to prevent this? Okay, I found out this. 8 causes: pregnancy, disease like diabetes, urinary tract disease, infections, strokes, surgery, tumors, poor kidney functions, certain medications, certain foods, and high fluid intake. Okay, so how can you prevent? So you need to get a strong pelvic floor. Okay, pelvic floor is when you just contract your ass basically and your anus, and then this is the muscle that that are responsible or are this is the, can you see it, all this is the floor, the pelvic floor. Yeah, so you need to have a shape and strong muscles there. The normal abs doing abdominales propiamente dichos are not very good for pelvic floor. So you need to find out specific exercises for this part. Yes, and specifically women, because since it's very short, if you don't have these muscles strong, it's very easy to have a loss. Yeah, que se te escape un poco de pis, ¿vale? So this is the most important thing. Good. Well, urine formation. And now it's very interesting, this part, yes? We were talking about these things, but we need a glomerular filtration and tubular reabsorption. The function of kidneys is to form urine using the nephrons and to then release to the exterior. Urine is a liquid obtained from blood composed of water, minerals, and diverse waste products, mostly urea and uric acid. Has two stages. Glomerular filtration, that this consists of passage of certain substance from blood contained into the Malpighian glomerulus to the interior of the Bowman's capsule. Okay, we have the arterial form the Malpighian glomerulus, and the Bowman's is part of the nephron. Yes, so there are two parts that link together. As you can see here, this is the Malpighian glomerulus, and this yellow conduct is part of the Bowman's capsule. Yes, and is very sensible to pressure, to blood pressure. So it tracks the blood plasma, but doesn't contain proteins. Not proteins, but amino acids and urine. It's part of the proteins. Yes, not proteins. So proteins still are running through the circulatory system. Proteins can make the filtration difficult. Yes. So if you have a lot of proteins, the pressure needs to be higher to improve filtration. Tubular reabsorption, as filter substance travel through the nephrons tubule, yeah, they are reabsorbed, returning to the capillaries that surrounds them. We have some capillaries here that are going to extract these good things, like glucose, yeah, vitamins, amino acids, yeah. And one of the most efficient ways to know if you are diabetic is to find out glucose in the pee, yeah. If you found glucose in the pee, is because you have so much sugar in your bloodstream that you can even pee it. Yes. So the diabetes is just having glucose in the bloodstream. Glucose shouldn't be there, or it should be in a very slow, a small quantity, or for a really short time. Yes, because actually you generate insulin, and insulin is helping the cells to put all the glucose in the bloodstream to in the cell. Yes, in the cell. Good. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. So capsule is, because it's supposed even I can do it even bigger. Yeah. It's filter substance as well as water and minerals that are needed to maintain the correct blood composition. Excretion molecules are not reabsorbed. Reabsorption, yes, of water is carried out in the loop of Handel. Yes, in the loop of Handel. In the loop of Handel, we're going to extract the water, and in the collector tube. Yeah. As well, minerals. Excretion molecules are not reabsorbed. Reabsorption of water is carried out in the loop of Handel, and other substances are reabsorbed in approximately in the proximal tube. During this process, reabsorption from every 125 milliliters of filtered liquid, only 1 milliliter of urine is produced. Yeah. So if we want to get rid of more things, what we're going to do is increase the blood pressure, increase the amount of blood filtered, and we will increase therefore the quantity of urine generated. Yes, this is not very good. To increase more than this level is we have a problem. Our body is saying that, is telling us that something we are eating, something we are experiencing is putting substances all around our body that we need to pee. We need to increase the blood pressure. That's not very good. 29. In which part of the nephrons water is reabsorbed? As we have here, excretion molecules are reabsorbed. Reabsorption of water is carried out in the loop of Handel. Yes. And this is the collector tube. the collector tube is not saying anything in the book, so we will leave it there. Describe the circuit of urea molecule produced in the liver will flow until it's released to the exterior in the urine. Start with the relevant blood vessels, okay? Relevant blood vessels. Heart, kidney, including nephron and the urinary tract. Explain which processes the molecule undergoes at each step. Well, this is a hell of exercise. Describe the circuit of urea molecule produced in the liver. Yes, good. What I'm going to do is write it. Hope you. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So first, urea gets out of liver. Yes, through vamos a poner, bueno, vamos a poner dos. And then we have the goes from, so getting the arterioles and go out from the veins. Yeah, veins 2, 3 goes to the heart. Where in the heart? Okay, yes, in the left part of your heart. Yes, left atrium, then left ventricle, lungs, right arteriole, and right ventricle. Okay, goes out from to the arteria aorta, aortic artery, and then goes to the arteriole of the well, artery kidney artery and arteriole. Arteriole, it's alright, no? It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Yes. Arteriole. I think I wrote it properly, yes? Good. Yes. Malpighi. A ver cómo se escribe Malpighi. I'm not sure. Malpighian. Not sure. Malpighi. Bowman's capsule. Yes, and then the distal, vale, kidney artery, Bowman capsule. Okay, now the filtration is done. Yes, and now I'm going to the ¿cómo se dice? Proximal sorry, convoluted tube convoluted tube. Convoluted tube. Handle. No, handle. Loop. And then distal. No. Sí. Yeah. Distal convoluted tube. And then collector tube. Yeah. Then goes to the pelvis. Then renal pelvis, ¿vale? Que es esta parte. Esta parte de aquí. Renal pelvis. Ureter. Renal pelvis. Vamos a poner connector tube. Renal pelvis. Yeah, and now ureters, bladder. Okay. Bladder and bladder is correctly urethra. Ok. Vamos a ver si he escrito bien Henle. Y casi. A ver. Que perdona. Os estoy mareando, ¿verdad? Ahí. Henle loop. And that's it. Okay, urea gets out of liver of the liver, goes out of from to the veins heart, left atrium, left ventricle, lungs, right atrium, right ventricle, artery, kidney artery, arterial, Malpighian, glomerulus, and Bowman's capsule. Then proximal convoluted tube, Henle tube, distal convoluted tube, this part, and then collector tube, renal pelvis, and then ureters, bladder, urethra. Yeah, that's it. Health habits from circulatory and excretory systems. Yeah, very important information. So balanced diet. What is a balanced diet? That we need to have not only macronutrients but also micronutrients that are basically vitamins and other substances that are going to help us to age less, to have better health, better physical condition, less inflammatory condition. That kind of things. Hygiene and exercising regularly. Yeah. So cardiovascular health, yes, avoiding excessive consumption of foods rich of cholesterol. Okay. Do not smoke. So being overweight is associated with blood pressure, which is not very good. Cholesterol. It leads to fluid retention. We don't want to eat with a lot of salt. Avoid stress and exercise regularly. Okay, this is very interesting because areas where let's say they don't have industry, they don't have well-structured society, or are based on only on um, on agriculture. Um, they are pushed to not eating well. Yes, not eating well. Maybe because they don't have proper education talking about what we should eat, and not having the education about what is better to eat, it's pushed us to eat more and more unhealthy food. Yes, less fruits and less vegetables. That's the most important thing. The problem is not eating food with cholesterol. The problem is not eating enough food that is good. That's the problem. So we need to start eating a lot of vegetables and a lot of food like it's good. Vegetables and fruits. Yeah. We're lucky to be in this part, Madrid, um, because we have a better standards in eating, in our eating processes, in our eating habits, and that's a good thing. Or we need to keep this with a low, and it's also because we have maybe a lot of doctors and hospitals, and they can help us. Yeah. So which region have more death related with cardiovascular disease? As we can see in the south. Okay, very good. Being there, they're doing good. Um, good. Illnesses of circulatory system, high blood pressure, yeah, arteriosclerosis related with the cholesterol, yeah, arteriosclerosis and aterosclerosis, que en inglés sería arteriosclerosis y aterosclerosis. Bueno, atero is related with cholesterol, and arteriosclerosis is a loss of elasticity. They can be related, yes, because we are not eating properly the fats and the components of our body. Um, are going to have a consequence in our arteries. That's a problem. I don't know if you have the experience of eating a bad ham, a really cheap ham, and a really expensive ham. The difference is just what have the pig eaten before we fabricate this ham. Yes. So if you can taste the difference, it's because the different pigs are eating different. Yes. If you have the pig, the Iberico, is eating nuts. Yes, constantly. These nuts are very caloric. These nuts tienen muchas calorías, but good ones. These are very different calories from one to another. These calories are good. The fat of these nuts are good. This fat is providing the pig with a very good fat to build their structures, their membranes. Yeah. So when we have good healthy habits, we have less cholesterol, but our elasticity of arteries are very good. So what happens when the arteries are lose elasticity is that they can uh, be bigger. Yes, they can. uh, with every high pressure, the artery is getting higher, and the heart needs to pump harder. So the blood pressure it's getting high. So the artery gets wider, and so to reach the blood, yes, to reach the blood, to reach the organs, the blood needs to increase the pressure. So the artery gets bigger. So it's a vicious circle. Yes. Sube la presión arterial, sube el diámetro arterial. Sube la presión arterial, sube el diámetro arterial. Como sube el diámetro arterial, you need to pump all the water. So it's easy and it's more effective to have a normal artery, but if you have it wider, you need to pump a lot to make sure that the blood is going in a proper way. Yes, aneurysm is a dilatation of blood vessel. Yes, so the blood vessel, as I said, these all are very related. So if you don't have elasticity, very likely you're going to have a dilatation of blood vessel. And if you have a dilatation of a blood vessel, what's going to happen is that can ruptures, when it ruptures, it can cause the death because you have an artery that is broken and all the blood goes out. So the blood is not going to the organs and give them oxygen. Yes, can be here in the lungs, can be here. Yes, good. So varicose, yes, dilatation of veins. ¿Vale? Las varices, dilatación de las venas. Myocardic infarction, lack of blood in the myocardium. This is nos lo hemos sabido, ¿vale? Porque se tapona la coronary artery. Lack of angina pectoris, lack of oxygen, una angina de pecho. So, the myocardial infarction, heart attack, means that the muscle is going to die. Yes, but the angina is just in between. The muscle is not dying. Lucky you only have an angina. Yes. Yes, so it's the plaque built up in the coronary arteries. We block the coronary artery, so the obstruction of this coronary artery can provoke, can end up in angina de pecho or in infarto, when you are not conscious at all, you faint, and you can die. Yes. Heart failure. Yes. Unable to provide adequate blood flow. Yes. This is not pumping. This suddenly stops. Yeah. Endocarditis, inflammation of endocardium caused by a bacterial infection. Yes. This is very important. Bacteria are going around our body, and if a bacteria get in the heart, located, and is generated an infection, an inflammatory. So the heart is growing in size, is not working properly. And what happens with the blood? We have anemia, yes, decreasing red blood cells in number, quantity, and also because the hemoglobin percent in the cell is decreasing. So you can have the same number of red blood cells, but one person can have the myoglobin in one of the persons. Red blood cells is very low and the other is normal. Yeah. Lo típico de que me falta hierro, ¿no? So we have number of red blood cells or the quantity of hemoglobin presented in this red blood cells. Leukemia, an excessive increase of number of abnormal blood cells. Yeah. So when you have this abnormal white blood cells is because you have a cancer. Um, these white blood cells are not working at all. Yes, malfunctional. Yes, they are just like if we talk about white blood cells as a defensive cells. Yeah, so like a police is like having millions of policemen around the city doing nothing. Yes, not helping at all, or just so this so just uh, in a routinary extraction of blood they can analyze that. Hemophilia means that we have a lack of certain proteins in the blood plasma that uh, that are not helping the blood to coagulate. Yes, so you can die from a wound. Yes, and you can lose a lot of blood, and that's a problem, of course. Thrombosis is the formation of blood clot. Yes, cuando se forma un coágulo, ¿vale? Inside of an artery. Yes, it can be in a leg, for example. So the oxygen doesn't arrive to the muscle or the leg. So what happens is bacteria are going to invade that because no white blood cell is there. The muscles are going to die. So a lot of people have lost a leg or an arm because of a thrombo. Yes. So you need oxygen and white blood cells to defend your whole body. They are circulating around your body constantly. Yeah. So we need again to have healthy habits of eating. Yes, we need a lot of fruits and vegetables in our diet to avoid these things to happen. These are very related, very, very related, this disease with the kind of food we are providing to ourselves. Explain the difference between thrombosis and aneurysm. Thrombosis and aneurysm. Aneurysma here. Yeah? So thrombosis, thrombo, blocks the artery. Yeah? Un thrombo. An aneurysm is a dilatation of the blood vessel. Okay? So it can happen that when the thrombo is thrombo is very little, but it's generating a problem because the blood is not going in the proper direction. So what happens is the heart is pumping harder, yes, to make the blood circulate properly, and is this situation of this little thrombo is making the artery, the walls of the artery getting wider. Yes, dilatation of blood vessel. If this continue, it can generate a problem, a rupture, and so if an artery breaks, all the blood is going out, and as I told you, it's a problem. Search information about iron deficiency and anemia and thalassemia. Thalassemia is a genetic disease. Yeah, so the hemoglobin is not properly built, so you can have the same number of red blood cells, but they're not working properly. Yes, they can have the same symptoms, lack of strength, you feel not very energetic, you are like pálido, and so on. Yes. Can controlling cholesterol levels help reduce the risk of suffering heart attack? We don't need to control cholesterol if our diet is based on vegetables and fruits, yes, and nuts, and eh, garbanzos, lentejas, legumbres, legumes. So if we base our diets on that, we're not going to have any problem. So forget about cholesterol. It's just to improve your habits. Why? So since you have good fat, buena grasa in your body, you are not going to have problems on your vessels. If you don't have problems in your blood vessels, you're not having problems in the heart. Yes? And if you have a good diet, anemia is not a problem. Yes? For example, iron está muy presente en lentejas, ¿vale? Y en lo que comía Popeye, las espinacas. Okay? Spinach. So, and also we avoid thrombose, yes? To have this very dense, muy densa sangre that can block the artery, yes? Hemophilia and leukemia, well, it's an illnesses that that can happen. Hemophilia is something that is genetic, but in leukemia, if you have healthy habits, you are more likely to have a better health without any symptoms of cancer, because leukemia is a cancer. Yeah. So why controlling cholesterol levels help reduce the risk of illness? Yes. Art, arteries. Arteries. I don't know. Arteries. I'm sorry. Yeah, arteries and are going to be in perfect conditions. Okay, arteries are going to be in perfect conditions if you are eating properly fruits and vegetables. Good. Therefore, your heart is not going to suffer due to problems in arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. Good. Investigate suffer from infarctions. Other organs, of course, ictus in the brain. Yes. Health of the excretory system. Yeah. Drink sufficient water. For the same reason, don't eat excessively salt food. 2.5 liters. Avoid toxic substances. Yes, like alcohol. Maintain balanced diet. Plant-based. Plant-based. That's the solution. When the kidneys are unable to perform the function, it's essential to eliminate waste product from the body using the technique called dialysis. This is a problem. I'm going to tell you right now because los enfermos de COVID are suffering from this. The kidneys are, boom, they're destroyed. They're not functioning. And we need dialysis. We need a machine that extracts all the blood, filters it, extract the waste products, and then put your own blood back again, all clean. Yes, and these machines are very expensive, very, and you have to be connected with these machines around 5 hours, 6 hours a day. So respect your kidneys. Respect. With a healthy diet, you're helping your kidneys. With drinking water, you're helping your kidneys. Yes, during dialysis, blood is filtered artificially to eliminate waste and toxic products when the kidneys are unable to do the job adequately. The procedure is carried out in patients that suffer from renal failure or when a toxic substance needs to be eliminated from body rapidly. Yes, like you have an intoxication, for example, eating toxic mushrooms or toxic substances. There are two types of dialysis: hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis. Yes, so we have a membrane that is very thin, that is in our stomach, uh, in this part, and it's very interesting because they are putting a liquid into this membrane. So you have a big belly. Yes, this liquid is going to filter the your own blood. Yes, it's going to work as a kidney, and then this liquid of peritoneal dialysis is extract during the night. So during the night you are sleeping and the machine is taking out the liquid from your peritoneal area, cleaning it and put it back during the night. Yes, and then you disconnect in the morning to the machine and go to work or any other activity you can perform during the day. This way, the person is not connected to a machine during the day, because when you have hemodialysis, you cannot have this kind of machines in your home. You need to go to a hospital, and of course, it's going to take you a long time. But since you have a machine in your own room connected to a machine during the night, the blood is clean. Yeah, I have a friend that had this problem, and finally he had a kidney as from a donor, and, of course unknown. Yes, it's altruistic donations. You know that Spain is one of the best countries for this kind of solidarity between people. Yes, when someone dies suddenly, a lot of people is very likely to donate all the organs. Yes, that's gonna help a lot of people. So this person that was my friend was in hemodialysis during a long time. Then a peritoneal. Then the peritoneal wasn't working properly, because when you inject liquid in the peritoneal area, this liquid can get this bag of peritoneal is can be broken. Therefore, this water can get into your lungs. Yes, so you feel like you're drowned, como si te estuvieras ahogando. Yeah, so it's very dangerous, and they had a lot of surgeries to make it work. Yes, but it doesn't work, so he came back to the hemodialysis as a last resource, and finally he obtained a kidney. He's very happy, and of course he's taking pills to avoid their own defensive white blood cells to attack this kidney. Yes, that is not is of course you can reject an organ transplanted because it's not your own kidney. Yes, so the body says, hey, this is not mine, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it inside of my body. So you need to take these medicines to avoid, so you are very likely, you don't have white blood cells, you're very likely to have infections or other um, problems. Yes, like for example, get the coronavirus, and yes, you don't have white blood cells, so it's easy for you to have a problem, a very important health problem, and you can die, of course. Yeah. Good. Explain why it isn't advisable to eat too much salty food, because if you the salt is making your blood toxic, and how you get rid of this salt through the kidneys. Yes, and the kidneys are going to filtrate. If you constantly are making this filtration going on day by day with a lot of salt, then you can have these consequences. Yes, illness of excretory system. Ok. Bueno, que no he terminado aquí. Pero, research peritoneal dialysis and investigate how it carried out. I already explained it. Which part of kidney does the dialysis machine replace? Yeah. Why does it need to perform every 2-3 days? Yeah. Yes, hemodialysis is every 2-3 days because you can store, you can actually, how to say, you can actually live with a clean, without peeing, without excreting all the toxins for 2 days, for example. And then the third day you are going to be connected to a dialyzer, and all the toxins are going to be clean. Yes, so this structure, the dialysis tank, is working as a and the tubes of the membrane are working as a nephrons, ¿vale? Como las nefronas, funcionan como las nefronas, ¿vale? Bien, hemos terminado, sí. These are illnesses that are released in the kidneys, bladder, urinary tract. The most common ones are the following: renal failure, nephritis, cystitis, incontinencia, and stones. Yeah, these are the stones: uric acid stone, cystina stone, and stuvite stone. Yeah, and calcium phosphate stone. Yeah, when we have a lot of calcium. The stone can be here in this part, or can be inside of the bladder, so you cannot pee, and or here in the pelvis of the kidney. Yes. Renal failure ensures the filtration blood or the Malpighi glomerulus is not working, leading to less urine production, inadequate elimination of excretory substances. These illnesses cause nausea and vomiting, and even seizures, fainting, and yes. The illness can be caused by renal injuries. Okay, so you can be hit by I don't know. I have a friend that has renal failure during a football match. Okay, he finally recovered, but he is alright right now. Different blood pressure. So if we change the blood pressure, it's very likely to have problems: renal failure, urine retention caused by an obstruction in the urinary tract, nephritis, inflammation due to infectious or non-infectious causes. Symptoms produced are pain, cystitis, inflammation of the bladder because of an infection. So this a urine desire of going to pee, and is treated with antibiotics. Incontinences, involuntary loss of urine. Yeah, as we said, we need to the pelvic muscles. We need to get them strong. Yeah. Solid structures. Yeah. form because our diet without uh, without water and not having vegetables in our diet. Yeah, the stomach can be composed by salt or uric acid, and they originate it's the renal pelvis. Yes, because the substance filtrated, and they can be formed in the pelvis, or and then can travel around all or the tract. Yeah, and they can cause a renal colic. Yes, a pain is a pain. It's very intense, and I didn't suffer any, but a friend did. I have a friend that have been through a lot of nasty things. You can ask yourself, what kind of friends do you have, Marcos? But yes, um, so it's very intense, and sometimes the only way of get rid of this stone is just drink a lot of water. Yes, treat this condition, recommend rest, take medication to help dissolve the stone. On other occasions, these stones are eliminated using laser or ultrasonic therapy. Yes, there is some waves that are going to go all around your skin, getting the internal tissues and reach the stone, and with the vibration they can be dissolved easily. Yes. Why isn't it advised to drink water that has a high concentration of dissolved salt? Of course, the same. Um, this water has a lot of residuo seco that is going to be in your bloodstream, the bloodstream to the nephron, pelvic kidney, pelvic area, and you can have a stone that is going to travel all around the tract. Why do you think it's advisable to drink plenty of water? Of course, to get rid of or dissolve this stone. Yes, a balanced diet, very important. Thank you for being there. We're almost there. And regular exercise, healthy habits are essential to ensure the adequate function of the circulatory and excretory system. Very good. And I'm going to talk about these exercises. The rate of filtration, we already seen it, is 125 milliliters, and you get only 1 milliliter. Yes, form. And use the data to answer the following: why does this happen? Yes. What is so low? Why is so low? Because actually we cannot filtrate everything, and we are not producing that much toxins. Yes, it's a good rate. Yeah, if you have more toxins, you need to increase the blood pressure, you need to increase the amount of blood filtrated, and then therefore you will have more urine generated. Yes, but this is just an exception. It's a way to get rid of a lot of toxins. So good. How much volume is filtered in one day? Well, you just multiply in one day, multiply by 125, multiply by 60. This is a minute. This is a minute. This is an hour. Yes, 60 minutes, an hour. And how many hours do we have? 24. This is the volume filtered in one day. So what we have is 125 multiplied by 60. We have 1 hour, and in 1 day we have, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, again, 180,000 180,000 thousand milliliters. Yes, me falta un cero, which means that we have 180 litros de sangre filtrada por día. Okay, that's a lot. Yes. Good. What is the volume of urine generated? Yes. Urine generated is 1 milliliter per minute, so we need to multiply by 60 and by 24. Yeah. So 60 by 24. Yep. 440 milliliters. So it's almost 1.4 liters of urine of pee per day. Yeah, good. How much liquid is then reabsorbed? Oh my God, that's very good question. Mm, 2. Pues yo diría que el otro 90%, ¿vale? El 99%. Venga. Eran 180 litros, ¿no? 180 litros contra filtrado, 180 litros contra, bueno, vamos a poner 2 litros, ponle. $178 litros are going to be reabsorbed. Okay, good. The urine our body excretes each day is approximately equivalent to 1% of the plasma filtered in a kidney. What factor can affect the amount of urine individual excretes? What factors? Yes. So consumption of toxins like alcohol. Toxins like alcohol. Yes. Too much salt. Yeah, it can affect. Alcohol and salt are very poisonous. Yeah, we are going to increase the amount of filtration and can make you go to pee easily. Yeah, in certain cancers, renal failure is necessary to take diuretic drugs to increase the performance of kidneys. Yes, asparagus are very effective natural. They affect after eating them, one feels the urge of urinate and the urine smells like asparagus due to the acid they have. Describe the route this acid follows after eating asparagus is exactly the same as in this question. Okay. A ver, era por aquí, ¿no? Me suena. Aquí. So it is exactly the same. We're going to copy it. After eating asparagus. Come on, man. Yes, but instead of here, we have asparagus acid is by intestine. I don't know, capillaries. Yes, okay. Good. Going to veins, from veins. Yeah. And that's it. All done. Yep. So this is the topic. Thank you for being there. It was very intense. I want to tell you something that I found very intriguing. That is COVID failure of kidneys. Okay, so a lot of people is affected by this the COVID disease. So a lot of people is actually suffering from kidneys. I think is this one. So they are actually suffering from this this problem. Yeah. So I think it's this one finally. kidneyinternational.org. Okay. So, well, this is an article, and actually, as you can see here, this let's see where it in hospital death patients. Under 18 years old, there is no need to go to dialysis. Yeah, but age of 63, yes. Okay, so male, severe comorbidity, and in hospital death. Yeah, we have a really high level of persons that are needing that they develop kidney disease. Yep. And that is a problem, but check this out, because how much does it cost to recover from COVID? Yes, 35,000 US dollars. 35.000 euros solo un tratamiento contra el COVID. ¿Vale? Esto en Estados Unidos. ¿Vale? That's a problem with the because it said here like 27 million Americans are not having insurance policies or insurance or healthcare. So they are paying that amount of money to survive. If you don't have that amount of money, what are we going to do? We're going to die. Only poor people is dying in the U.S. 20,000 people in the U.S. is dying per day. 2,000 personas al día. So we're lucky to be here and to have a healthcare system that it works free for us, actually. Okay, so thank you for being there. Enjoy the video, enjoy learning. Bye bye.